Right, so it's after the game. Dorking Wanderers 1, Ebbsfleet 4. Got manager Marc White with us. Mark, what are your thoughts after that then today?
Well, I thought it obviously a really disappointing result. As a manager, you control an awful lot of things, but you rely upon the players doing things in the right way. Carbon copy, arguably, their first couple of goals of previous games. Last two games at home we played with man for man at the back, and I sort of took the responsibility for that and said, look, do you know what, that was maybe a bit naive and we allowed a bit of pace to hurt us. Today we had an extra man at the back. We had 3 versus their 2 strikers due to the formation of how they played. A bread and butter formation for us as well. I've got to say, I mean, we've got a really good record against Ebbsfleet on the basis that in the time we've been playing them, they've always played that way, and we're very good in that shape. When it's 3-5-2 v 3-5-2, we're very good. We know how to use the extra man. So we set them up right. We had an extra man defensively. We weren't aggressive defensively. Hayden gets spun, but then he scores from Bingham scores from all sorts of distance inside of the post. Shouldn't get spun. We've still got numbers behind the ball. Shouldn't really get a shot from that far out. Shouldn't get in the back of the net. Soft goal in my book has to be. And by the way, absolutely out of nowhere, that goal. And then I think for the 3rd game running, we concede in the 45th minute at home. Yeah. And Josh makes a silly foul. But I can't see why he done it, but we've got numbers around the ball. We've got an extra man defensively. We know that, and I was at the time. I could see what was going on. I'm asking them to put a foot in, squeeze, and they just stood up, and in the end, Josh had brought him down. Should have been dealt with better. So I thought 2 soft defensive goals, very soft, and you're giving yourself an uphill battle, and they're giving me an uphill battle, and their teammates. And then obviously second half, make 2 changes. I think the changes worked really well actually. I thought Charlie was getting the ball in dangerous areas, dominating the game, and defensively Joe was stepping in and dominating in that area too. And then Tony's picked up 2 bookings. You need your players to help you. I need to see them back. I think the rest warned them first half to leave each other alone. I need to see it back. I don't know if it's 2 yellows or not, but
I was going to ask you about that. What was that first yellow for? Because to me, it didn't look like a yellow card in terms of just that holding, unless there was some form of dissent there or something.
No, I mean, in fairness to the ref, he's saying he warned them first half. They was at each other, and he did. But I mean, for me, they just let it continue. I mean, strikers and centre halves at the end of the game, you shake hands, and I don't think it's a booking. I really don't. But Tony's then on a yellow. He's got to be careful. And obviously, for the total dominance we've got in the first spell of the second half, the game's then done. Game's done, isn't it? I mean, against a team that are very good at using an extra man, you're then giving them almost an extra 2, if that makes sense. So, we're in a position where the players have made that very difficult for me today, James, to be quite honest with you. Very difficult. So that's where we are, mate. More questions and answers.
So, where do we go from here? What's the plan in the week and then the weeks ahead? And also how conscious are you of this record at home now as well? It's starting to become a bit of a thing, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, and it's bad defending as well. But today, like I said, we had an extra man at the back, so no excuses. I mean, yeah, 100%. The home form is no good. I don't like the look of our fixtures, if I'm honest with you. I don't like our 12 games. I certainly don't like the look of Chesterfield coming in next week, and knowing where their strengths are on the field and where we're sort of failings are. I think the takeout for me is we've got to have players on the pitch that we can trust.
Yep.
I'll be honest. I want to be honest with the fans. I really do. And I've told the boys in there directly. There was a couple of players today that weren't going to play, that only played because the other boys that were going to play trained so badly.
Okay.
And that, I've been honest with you, like, that worries me, that a player at this level can train badly. I think it should never happen, but we had a couple of boys on Thursday that I wanted to play in this game, that I thought would be the right players for this game. And they're the obvious ones, probably people can work that out. And I didn't play them because the people that I gave an opportunity to and I wanted to have a good week training was so bad. Okay. And that worries me because at this level, it's called professional for a reason, and you need players that, if they're only here 2 mornings a week, are just absolutely dialed and switched on, and they weren't Thursday. So I changed the side individuals slightly. We were never going to play, we were always going to play a 3-5-2 game. We've beaten Ebbsfleet borderline every single time for 3 years in the same formation. Yeah. So I was disappointed with those boys that trained so badly that made me make a few clientele changes. And then even more disappointed with the boys today defensively. And then giving me such a difficult day. And their teammates. Poor defensive performance, staring uphill, and then two yellows for your captain, game over. Yeah. Forget the game at that point, it's not a contest, we know that. Going back to your question, we need to play players we can trust. Yeah. Players, we need to maybe look at the formation and get our trusted players in the formation. Yeah. Too many boys, you can't play too many boys in the position we're in the league that you can't trust, or the boys that can't handle going 1-0 down. So, yeah, disappointing, James.
So does this give you a bit of dilemma now during the week in terms of how you set things up for the Chesterfield game?
Yeah, definitely. We've got no one to blame but ourselves, James. I mean, I know we can all talk about the first half of the season, and it was a big problem. I'm sure we'd be 10 points to the better. Yep. It was a big issue. But for these recent results, we've got no one to blame but ourselves. The irony is that we're probably mid-table on form, and hopefully the supporters understand that. I think we've probably won 3 and 6 or something like that, and a draw. You know, like, our form isn't abysmal, it's fucking abysmal at home. That is our problem. And you play certain games during the season where you expect to take points, and they're your shoo-ins, because when you're looking at Chesterfield at home or Barnet, Southend, away, and looking at these tough games we've got, they're the ones where they become a bonus. So it's not our form that's actually the issue, it's our home form that's the issue. That's the problem. Okay,
so we do have a week now, a couple of training sessions. Any I saw some of the players that have not been involved today in the squad. Are there any updates on any of those kind of lads that you are sort of able to provide?
Well, yeah, I mean, obviously Jimmy was on the bench today. He could have came on, but down to 10 men, I thought we'd just get high up the pitch and try and get something lucky out of Harry, who's often been a great sub for us. Jimmy's back training again. Baz is back training again. Bauman, and obviously Bauman's nowhere near yet. Briggsy, maybe a week or 2, but we can't hold out hope for Matt at the moment. So we are short in them areas. I can see us probably lining up differently. We might have to, the fans might have to understand that we've got to coin toss a little bit here with our formation to get the best players in it. It might not be pretty, is what I'd say. But yeah, mate, listen, the fans would be rightfully aggrieved. I'm sure to a man, our fans are not stupid. To a man, they're looking at the nature of the goals. The last 2 home games have been identical. I remember Fard, the boy cuts in, he scores from 25 yards. We give away, we give the ball away on the edge of our box, 46th minute. Yeah,
the first goal was very similar to one against Halifax, wasn't it?
That's it, Halifax, that's the one, that's the one, Halifax, you're right, the right winger cutting in. Soft goals, giving us a mammoth task. So, I want to say congrats to Ebbsfleet. Their tails are up. Long way to go. Only the brave, really. That's the bottom line, only the brave. It's 12 games is an awful long time. and we need to find some solutions within that time to try and kick on. That's what I'd say. But fair play to Danny and Ebbsfleet and the boys. I know they're Josh, etc. They've got the win. The fans have got their. They've got their.
Eventually,
they finally got. Obviously the playoff game would have hurt them, and so listen, they've had their day today. So listen, that's how football works. They're right to celebrate. They're right to rub our noses in it, and the boys have got to take that personally. Do you know what I mean? It was just defensively, fucking defensively poor. Yep. 2 soft goals. You can have as many formations as you want, James. You can have as many nuances on a football pitch as you want, mate. But if you concede goals from 30 yards, 25 yards out, you know, and against a run of play, if you then, you know, give away a foul in the 46th minute. Then the players getting sent off, fucking what, you know, they're making it difficult, mate. So I'll be honest, I think we've got it all to do. I think we've got it all to do, James. I think with looking at our fixtures, we've got it all to do. It's there for us if we want it, but we've got it all to do.
Yep. Well, this place will be packed out next week, won't it? And 12:30 kick-off on the telly. We're due a win on the telly, aren't we?
Yeah, so. We are. Yeah, we've got to draw a... Listen, I mean, I don't have to ask the fans. I know they'll pack it out. Yeah. And thanks to all the fans that stayed to the end and clapped us off and sing and all the rest of it. You know, they expect more. But the players today, genuinely, basically, it's important. I fucking stand here and I'll take blame, mate. But players turning up Thursday that literally... dozing on the pitch on Thursday. Players today, you know, not doing things properly. Just not good enough, mate. So that's I'm disappointed with the players. I've got to be honest with you. Very disappointed.
Okay, thanks for your time. Have a good week, and we'll see you next Saturday.
And obviously, thanks to the fans for their patience.
Yeah.
Cheers, mate.
Cheers, mate.